Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be building a complete application in JavaScript which will be a YouTube video advanced search using the YouTube Data API version 3. So this is a short little demo application that you can see on the screen. So here you can just search any topic, let's suppose PHP tutorial, and then you can select the duration. Let's suppose I select long videos, and you can even order it by relevance or view count. I will be selecting relevance, and then you can select dates also. If I click search videos, so you will see in the bottom you will see all the videos which are PHP related. This is the title, thumbnail, and the channel link. If I go to the channel link, this will open this channel in a new tab, and you can visit the channel for more videos like this. And same goes for the video also. If you click this video will open a new tab. You can watch the video like this. So the nice thing about this is we are using pagination also, pagination component. So we are displaying 10 videos per page. So if you click the second page, then the next 10 videos will come here from the API. So this is a complete application. So let me just change the topic, let's suppose to JavaScript Firebase, and let's suppose I change the relevance to date here. So I will make use of dates here. Let's suppose I want to select in the year 2016 June and 7th. So all the videos which are published after 2016 I will search it. So you will see this video mine came up. This is my video, you can see that. So you can even make use of dates also inside this project. All the source code of this project is given in the video description. So go to the video description and you will be redirected to my blog. All the source code is there along with the screenshot, step-by-step instruction. And if you go to the bottom of the blog, you will see this link, download source code. Go to this link and you will be downloading the GitHub repository to follow along with the tutorial. So let's get started by building this application. So first of all, I will open my Visual Studio text editor, and here I will delete all these files. I will start from blank, and I will also delete the script.js. So once you download the GitHub repository, you will get this jQuery pagination plugin file. So this is a pagination plugin that I'm using of jQuery. So install it in inside your local directory. And now we will create index.html file. So inside this, guys, we will use template. So this will have all the dependencies that we are using here. You can see that we have put in the CDN of jQuery, popper min.js, bootstrap min.js, and also this date picker, which will allow us to select dates. So after having all these dependencies, we will write the HTML code. So inside this, we will have the container class of bootstrap. We will have a simple heading which will be YouTube advanced search app. So after this we will have a break tag, and after this we will have a simple form. Just give this attribute autocomplete to off, and inside this form we will have a simple input field of type text. So we will be giving an ID to it of search, and the placeholder will be simply topic, and it should be required for the validation. And we will be giving a class to it of form control. This is a bootstrap class. So now if I open this application, open with live server, so you will find this YouTube advanced search app, and this is the input field. To make the heading in the center position, we can add a bootstrap class of text center. So if I reload the application, you will see the heading in the center position. So now we will have a simple button to submit the form also. So this is button btn danger for the red color and btn block for full width. So here we will give the label as search videos. If I refresh, you will see the button is there. So now we will include make the script.js file inside our directory to get some data from the API. So make the script.js and we will write the here document ready function of jQuery. So when all the things are loaded on the page, then we will execute this code. So first of all, we will target the form by the ID that we have given to it. So when the form is submitted, this callback function will execute holding the event object. So this will have the E here. So we will execute e.prevent default at the very top to prevent the auto submission of the form. Then we will get the value that the user has typed using this function val. We need to declare some variables right here at the top, some global variables. So search API key, let me put comma here, API key. So this will be equal to the my API key that I got here from the Google Developer Console. So you can go to Google Developer Console to get your API key, create a project, click on create credentials and click on API key. So after getting your API key, let me just equal to search is equal to. So we are making these variables as global because we want to make use of them in different functions. And now we can also declare one other variable which will be URL. So which URL you will be hitting. So URL will be equal to, in the backtick symbol, https googleapis.com /YouTube /version 3 is the API version /search key is equal to. So here you will provide your API key like this, and we can move this inside next line. And there is a second property that we need to pass is the maximum results. So maximum results will be equal to the maximum results that we set inside our application. So we can just make a new variable right here at the top, put a comma, max results. So we will give a value of 10. So you can change this value accordingly. So the maximum allowed value is 50. And also we will provide one other attribute of type is equal to video. Since it is a video search application, so here we need to provide the type to is equal to video. That's it, guys. So after this we also need to provide one other attribute which is mandatory. This attribute is part. So if you read this documentation of this API, you will find this. So part is equal to snippet. That's it. Now what we want, we need to make a simple get request. So we can use Ajax method of jQuery. So here we can write method as get and the URL is equal to the URL that we have specified, and then there is a success callback. So when there is a response from the API, this data will be returned to us. We can console log the data, and also we need to disable the button once the send button is clicked. So there is a before send callback function as well inside jQuery. So we will make use of that in order to disable the button. So in order to disable the button, we need to give it an ID or BTN. So just go to index.html and give it an ID to it of the button. Since we can target this inside jQuery, so BTN, and here we can just disable the button by having attribute method. So passing disabled here to true. So this will disable the button, and now once the success callback is called, we need to undisable the button. So here after the console log data statement, we can make this as false. So now we can check the application if it is working or not. So if I go to the application, right click, inspect element, and if I go to the console here, if I search for any topic PHP, if I click search videos, you will see a JSON response will be coming back from the API holding 10 items. Each item has its own video ID. You will see video ID is there, and more information is there inside snippet object. This is a channel ID, channel title, description. These are the publish time, and these are the thumbnails. So we will be printing the high thumbnail You can see that. So all this information is there. This is the title of the video. So in order to display this information, we will be using the table tag. Now guys, we will make our display videos function in order to display the videos which are coming back from the API. So here we will call this function as display videos, and we will pass the data which is coming back from the API. So now to make this function, we will go down here and make our function, which is function display videos, and we are getting the data here like this. So inside this, what we want here is that, and just before this, inside before send, you need to make sure that you clear out the contents which are there inside the input field. So we can target the input field and we can use val function to clear out the contents before we are making a new request. So now inside this display videos function, we can get the information which we want. So now we can use for each loop. Let's suppose for each loop is there. So inside this for each loop, we will use data.items. So data.items is the actual array that we want. So this will be a variable item, index variable. So for each item inside the array, we need to add the details inside our applications. For adding details, we will make use of a bootstrap table. So in order to make sure, let me just copy paste some of the code inside my application. So bootstrap table allows you to display information in nice table like structure. So I will copy paste this here. So just after the form is ending, paste this code. So first of all, we are not displaying the table early on once the application loads. So this is a style property, display none, and we are giving an ID to it of table, and this is a bootstrap class, table striped. So these are table row, heading here, title, thumbnail, and visit channel, and here we are giving an ID to its the table body tag results. So inside this, we will populating all the table rows which will be coming back from the API. So right here inside this, we will make just after this, inside this, we will show the table first of all. So we will target the ID which we have given to it, and we will make use of the show function of jQuery. So right here after it, we will also make a video data variable which will initialize it to nothing. And now we will use this video data variable right here inside this loop. So this again will make use of backtick symbol, and now right here we will use the table row tag, and for the first table data we will be populating the title of the video. So for populating the title of the video, we will just write here this item dot snippet dot title. So basically this will have the title of the video, and secondly we need to populate the thumbnail. For populating the thumbnail, it is pretty simple. We will make use of image tag. So image source will be equal to the item dot snippet dot thumbnails. So if you study the JSON response which is coming back from the API, you will be having this structure in order to get the URL of the image. So now we can even attach a fixed width and height to the image, 200 width and also the height 200. That's it. So this is a thumbnail which is there ready, and last but not least we will have the channel link also property. Let me just see guys first of all if these properties are working or not, and lastly we need to add this to our table body. So we can take the table body which we have given an ID to it of I think we have given the ID which is results, and we can append this value which is of video data like this. And now if I refresh it, and let's suppose I give a value of JavaScript, click on search videos, and now you will see that all the videos are there. 10 videos are displaying on the first page since we haven't implemented pagination. So this is a title, this is a thumbnail. You can also save this image onto your local system also. So now basically guys, we will make this title clickable. Once you click this title, you will go to the video. So for making sure that you go to the video, what you need to do, you need to wrap this inside anchor tag. So href property will go to https youtube.com/watch/ question mark v is equal to, so v is equal to the video id, so whatever video id is there. So in order to get the video id, we will use item.id.video id. So close this. So inside this also close the anchor tag like this, and now if I refresh, you will see this this is clickable. And now to make sure that it opens inside a new tab, we will add this attribute which is target underscore blank. So just add this. If you now open this, it will open the video in the new tab. You can see that. So now we will make sure that we also add this visit channel property. So inside this third table data, we will add the same thing, but now this will be channel ID. So now inside this we will have anchor tag href will be equal to https youtube.com/channel/ followed by the channel ID. So in order to get the channel ID, we will use item.snippet.channel ID. That's it. Close this, close the anchor tag, and in order to get the label for the anchor tag, we will populate the channel name. So in order to get the channel name, this is pretty simple. Item.snippet.channel title. So this will have the channel title name here. If I refresh, if I write here, let's suppose Firebase CRUD. So now you will see that, and you will notice that we are searching for Firebase videos, but these videos are coming here. This is only because we haven't passed our search query. That is the problem, guys. So now to fix this, it is pretty easy. We need to add this to our right here, this string here. So q is equal to, and then we need to pass our query string, which is located inside search. So I was also noticing this. So now if I refresh it, Firebase CRUD. So now you will see the Firebase CRUD kinds of videos which are related to our search query. So this is code affection channel. If I go to this channel, it will open this channel. We need to open this inside new tab, so we can again give it a target blank attribute inside this anchor tag. So target blank like this. So again, if I type Firebase CRUD, so you can see that. So now we have a simple application which searches for 10 videos using the YouTube Data API version 3 with the search query provided. Now we need to implement the pagination. So pagination is very much easy. So if I show you how to implement pagination at its very core, if you just search for the response, you will see this property which is next page token. So basically tokens are nothing but, if you provide this token, there is a property which takes the page token. If you provide this next page token, then it return the next 10 items which are there on the next page. So we will make use of this next page token property to implement pagination inside our application. Now guys, we will implement the pagination process here. So to implement the pagination process, we need to first of all add some index.html code here. So just after the table, we will have the pagination links here. So we are using a pagination plugin here. You can see that we are including the CDN. We are included that plugin here, which is jQuery.tws pagination min.js. You will have this file inside your local directory. So I have provided the GitHub link here, so you can download that. After this, we need to provide a div which has got a ID of pager. Inside this, we will have a unordered list which will have a ID of pagination, and also we will be giving a class to it of pagination dash small sm. That's it. So this is a pagination code inside index.html that you need to write here. Just write this code, and now we will write the JavaScript code to implement the pagination. So for implementing it, you need to declare some variables. So first of all, we will target store the reference on which element that we are referring the pagination to. So we will select that element by its ID, which is pagination we have given. Apart from that, we also need to have the total records which are there to be paginate. So this is equal to 0 early on once the application loads, and we also will be having a records here which will be an array which will hold all the records for us. REC per page, so this stands for record per page. So records per page is also equal to 0. Put a comma here, and then we will have another variable which will be next page token. So basically this will be holding the page token for the next set of records, and after that we will have one other variable which holds the total number of pages to be displayed inside the pagination. So the pagination plugin which will automatically calculate how many pages to display depending upon the records. Now after this, after declaring these variables, we will write the pagination code. So right here inside your display videos function, we need to write some code here. So the code will be very simple. First of all, we will calculate the record per page. So this is calculated using the data which is coming back from the API, and there is a page info property inside this data dot page info, and inside this there is a property which is results per page. So let me just show you this property. If you search for any record here, if I inspect element and go to console, you will see this property which is inside page info. This is a page info, and you can see the results per page is equal to 10, which we have set here, and the total number of results which is also returned to us, which is I think which is 10 lakh. So after setting the records per page, we will have the next page token property. So this is also there inside data dot next page token, and after this we will have the total number of records, total records. I think I have made this variable or not. Let me see. Yes, total records, we have made this variable. So we need to set this total records is equal to data dot page info dot total results. I think this is total results. Yes, total results. And after that we need to calculate the total number of pages which the pagination will calculate. So this will be, we will use the math formula here, math dot ceil. Inside this we will pass the total records divided by the records per page. So this will return this value to us, and now we need to make a separate function which will be apply pagination. So that's it, guys. So after calculating all these things, we will make this function which is apply pagination. So make this function here, apply pagination. So inside this function, guys, what we now want to do here is that we want to first of all invoke the variable which is holding the pagination. So we have given this reference to it, and you can see this, we have given we are targeting the element of the pagination. So we are targeting it by the ID and storing it inside this variable. And now it is the time to invoke the plugin. So the plugin name is very simple, which is TWBS pagination, and inside this takes some properties. First is the total number of pages, so this will be equal to the total pages that we have defined here. Total pages, and visible pages will be simply how many pages that you want to visible. So I will have 6 here. And also there is a property which is on page click. So when you click any page inside the pagination, this callback function will execute holding two parameters. First is the event, and second is the page number which you have clicked. So inside this we can calculate this index here, which is display records index. So this will be simply equal to math.max, and we can use page minus 1 comma 0, and then we can multiply whole this thing with the records per page. So after calculating this, we also need to make one other variable, which is display records. So this will be equal to, we will use the slice method of JavaScript to slice the section of the array. So inside this we will pass the first argument as the display records index, and the second one as I think we have to calculate the second end index also. So after this we need to calculate the end index. So inside this we will use the display records index, and we will plus here. So this is some mathematics which are used here, so just write this code, guys. We will pass this end record here like this, and then again we need to make another function which will generate a new set of records, and here we will pass the next page token. So the next page token which will have the next set of records that I need to display. So we will make this function right now. So this is generate records. So this will have the next page token property associated inside this. So this is simply, we will again call this function once again. So the same thing that we have done inside this. So you can see that. Let me just copy paste all this code here inside this function. So there is slight modification that we need to make here. Paste it. So here I need to change this URL to URL2, and the difference is that, guys, there is a second property which needs to be added, which is page token. So page token property needs to be added. T is capital here. So this is equal to the page token that we are receiving here, which is next page token. That's it. This is the change that we need to make. And again we are using this display videos function, which is used to display the videos. That's it. This is the change that we need to make, and obviously we need to change this URL to URL2. That's it, guys. Hopefully the pagination will occur here. If I refresh the application, you will see, if I type Firebase CRUD, if I click search videos, so if I look here at the bottom, so you will see that all the pages are there. If I click the second page, you will see the second page will be there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now if I show you, the pagination is also working. So if I write here PHP tutorial and click on search videos, so this is the first page, and if I click the second page, you will see the next set of videos will come here. If I click the third page, you will see the third page videos will come. So this is the pagination concept is also there inside this application. Now we will be making the filtering option, how to filter by video duration, how to filter by date. So now inside your index.html you just need to write some HTML code here. So just after your input field, which is there of this input type text, we will have a select box here. Just give it another div and give it a class of form group. Inside this we will give a label for duration. So here I will give duration here. So inside this we will have select boxes here. This will be a select tag, so we need to. So what can I do here is that I can copy paste the HTML code, which is, I will not write the HTML code. So if I go to the repository, this is the HTML code. If I just copy this here, so this will include four filtering options: duration, order by, and this is before and after dates. So if I refresh here, you will see this is a drop down for the duration. It will have four options: any, short, medium and long. Order is relevance, view count, video count, title, rating, date, and this is the date boxes. So in order to get dates here, we need to initialize one line of JavaScript code here. So just after this, once you included your date picker, you need to first of all select it by the ID, whichever ID that you have given. So before date, and we need to initialize this date picker plugin here, and you need to pass empty options. This doesn't take any kind of options, so you need to repeat it for the after date as well. So now if you click that option, you will get a let me just see here. So just after it, you need to copy paste it here. So if you refresh it here, so now you will see the dialog box is popping in. So if you click on that input field, this is the input date here. Here you can select the dates. And now to hook up the JavaScript, it is pretty simple. We need to go to the script.js and we need to make some slight modifications inside your script. So first of all, I will handle the duration part. So for the duration, we will make a new variable here, put a comma, make a duration variable, and the default value will be simply any. So we will be getting any duration kinds of videos, and we need to, once our form is, we need to get the value of the duration field. So this we can do this by, we can select it by the ID, and then there is a change event handler. So when the value changes on of this input field, so we can get this by so this is the simplest of way by which you can get the drop down value. So this dot children, and here you can pass option underscore selected and then dot value val. So I can repeat this process for order here, put a comma and make a new variable. This will be equal to relevance, and once the value changes, the same set of code will there for the order as well. So make that order here, and what we need to do is that we need to make changes inside our endpoint here. So there is a property which is order is equal to, here we need to pass the order which we have specified, and then there is a duration, video duration property as well. So video duration, D is capital. So this will be equal to the duration that we have specified, and now we just need to repeat this line inside the second API call that we are making. So just here also we need to copy paste it, and now if I refresh it, if I type anything here, Firebase CRUD, and if I select the duration of long here and click search videos, so what you will find is that all the long videos will come here. So long videos are defined in YouTube which are 50 minutes long. So you can see this is having some kind of ads here. So these videos are all long videos. You can see that project related videos. So this is the duration filter, and similarly we have this order as well. So if you want to filter out the videos with view count, you can select this and again click search, and now this video will have the highest number of views which is coming first here. You can see that. So in this way you can select these filters, and dependingly all your videos will come. And lastly we will be having this before and after dates. So this is pretty simple. We need to get the dates here. So I will just go to my GitHub repository and paste the code here. This is a slight complicated code here. So make two variables inside your script.js, before date and after date. So this is a date object, convert to ISO string. So this is a default function in JavaScript. So basically it returns a date as a string value in ISO format. So after doing this, we need to set this value to the input fields, the exact date. So now if I refresh it, you will see the exact date, today's date will be printed out inside these fields. Today is 13 July, so you can see that this is a format that YouTube API uses. So every time you select any sort of date, this date will be converted to this format by this function which is ISO string. So now what we want to do is that we want to write these functions whenever these input boxes changes. We need to write this event handler code here. So just after this, write this, copy paste it, and now what we want to do is that we need to make slight modifications inside our and here published before. There is a property, so here we will be before date, and also there is a property which is published after. So you can check the documentation, all this is there. So this will be equal to after date. So the same thing that we need to repeat it for the next API call. So I can copy this and then I can go to the next API call. So here paste it again, and now if I it will allow me to, if I search any sort of topic, that is PHP tutorial, and now if I select the relevance to date, change this to date, and now if I select this before date, let's suppose I select the year 2013 June 18. So I want the videos which are published before this date. If I click search videos, so you will see that these videos are very much older. If I click this video, play it, and if I show you the published date, you will find the published date. So you can see the published date, which is July 13, 2020. If I select this video, July 13, 2020. So in this way, you can filter out it by the dates as well, your YouTube videos. So thanks very much guys for watching this video. If you like this video, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next video.